So things like customer service, that is going to at least fundamentally change. There'll be a few in-person customer service reps, but call centers and things, they won't exist.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys have seen the phone agents. They're really good.
Well,
and
you were
they're only
saying
getting
that the
better.
other day. It's like, again, at an
We're
event.
we're building agents now.
Yeah. What are you using? Do you know what platform you've
Yeah,
started?
so N8N,
Yep.
Relevance,
Yep.
Voice Flow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one you should look at for voice agents is Bland.ai.
Bland.
Yeah, really easy way of setting up voice agents
Yeah.
and workflows. But anyway, so that's happening, right? And some jobs are going to get replaced. But how I talk about it is especially for businesses that have, I haven't met a single business owner that doesn't want to grow and make
Yeah, of
more
course.
money. And,
Absolutely.
Right? And
Make it easier.
And we were talking about it before. Think about the amount of things you have to do in a
Yeah.
business. So it's not like I'm looking at all of my staff and going, oh, great, which one of
Yeah,
you can I
how do
replace?
I ask you?
Yeah, I want you to use AI so we can do more as a business. We can all be less.
Yeah, well, and you said it, like instead of employing 400 people, we can still have 45 people that do the work of 400.
Yeah.
And that's where I suppose it's getting that replacement, because back in the day, or tomorrow, you used to have to employ 10 people to do these one task.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, what if we were, and this is the discussion we're having. I said, he goes like, well, what's your biggest inefficiency? I'm like, well, this is my biggest inefficiency in the business. If you can could you build a bot to solve that? He goes, yeah, absolutely, I could.
Yep.
I said, if you do that, I think that's a multi-million-dollar venture
Yep.
and business. And also, not just from the fact of what it could mean to sell that to someone, I'm saying from how much time and money it could make me within my organization.
Yep.
Because all of a sudden, I've gotten rid of a huge bottleneck in the business that I can go, yeah, sure, you want that done? Here it's done in 5 minutes. Because you want a competitive advantage on your competition, speed.
Yeah.
Speed's a huge thing. If I could do something in a third, a half, a quarter of the time, well, I'm going to beat my competition each and every time.
For sure. Yeah. And like talking about agents, you mentioned AI agents before. So for those listening who haven't come across the term, basically an AI that's going to act on your behalf. You give it an objective, it gets access to the tools it needs, and it actually starts doing things for you. It's not just like ChatGPT where it's like one question,
Ask the
one
question.
answer. It's actually, it might have access to your email. It can draft things
Yeah,
for you.
can have access to your credit card.
Yep.
Can book dinner for you.
Yep.
Can put a deposit down.
Exactly.
Can
So-
people don't understand that it can do that.
Yep.
They're like, no, that's not here. No, it's here.
It's here. It's here. And so what we need to start considering is, what does the workplace look like, the interface between the humans and
Yes.
the agents? And what we really think is going to happen is humans are going to move to high leverage stuff. You're going to be commanding a bunch of agents to do things
Yeah.
for you. Humans aren't getting replaced, but what you might be doing, instead of doing the grunt work yourself, you're just being the conductor of agents. And if someone can be really good at that, the funny thing is,
It's a very high skill.
they're going to get paid way more. So AI is not replacing people. If someone can produce that and show that they're high value by commanding agents, I'm going to pay you more.
Your output
Your
goes
output.
for your 1,000x your output.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, you could only do this one thing. Now you're doing 4,000 things because you have 2,000. It sounds ridiculous, but you have 2,000 AI agents working underneath you, and they're all integrated together, and they all communicate, and it's like this crazy web that's happening.
Yeah.
And you can't see it.
Yeah. And I'll give you a real life example. And this is like a little bit nerdy because I work in software, but basically software platforms, they can have bugs, right? Or they can have feature requests. And sometimes it's only a small thing, but you get heaps of them. We get feature requests all the time, and we've only got limited software developers. So we now have an AI agent that is a software engineer. It's an AI. And as soon as a feature request comes in, it can automatically pick it up. It starts coding on it. It starts doing it. It tests it. And then it just sends it back to one of our software developers for review. So rather than our software developer choosing what they need to work on and then say, I'm going to do that, I'm going to write the code, then it's going to go in, they're just starting to review things.
You just took 90% of the work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so which makes you 10 times more efficient.
100%. Yeah.
And so we're going to see the bar lifted, and not just in software, but I think in even service industries, they should get better and more efficient. And so it's really exciting. And like we said, yeah, some jobs are going to get replaced, but heaps are going to get created as well.
100%. I think the days of like waiting on 45 minutes on hold to Telstra are going to be gone.
Gone.
Like that's not going to happen anymore.
Well, you said it. It's like you're going to be on the phone to someone and say, am I speaking to a human or a bot? And you're like, no, bot. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm speaking to the best person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or thing.
Best thing.
Have you guys seen Waymo?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
You haven't seen? You have.
What is it?
Waymo's the vehicles that drive themselves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in the States. We saw
Yeah.
it. It's not here.
Yeah, it's not here in the States. They are so much better than getting in the car with an Uber driver.
No,
Like,
no small talk.
no small talk.
Car doesn't smell funny.
But it drives better too. Like I felt safe the first time I got in one. It was like surreal, and I felt like I was in a UFO, and it was scary.
And you're watching every car on the
Yeah,
road.
but then
Sitting
you,
in the middle.
all
Yeah.
you need is
Six
one
self-
safe
seatbelts
trip, and
on.
you realize it drives better than a human. Then so I was in San Francisco. I was getting Waymos everywhere. Then I got an Uber, and I got in the Uber drive, and the Uber driver was like, he's a bit rushed, and I just felt unsafe with a human at the helm. So I think it's to your example of, am I speaking to a bot or a human? We're going to start trusting technology more and more, and what I think will happen is the human element of what we do will be amplified. Like us sitting here face to face and having this conversation, that kind of thing is going to be more appreciated. Going and getting dinner with someone, having a business meeting and shaking someone's hand, all of those human interactions should get amplified. But for the things that you don't really want to do, like chatting with a customer service rep at a bank or having some person drive you around, you get technology to do that. It's going to be magical.
Yeah, I think the great part that people can't, I think people haven't comprehended yet is like, if I need something from you, we will have our bot reach out to your bot.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and we won't
Agent-
communicate, and the
agent
thing
to
will
agent.
happen.
Yep.
Yeah, and everyone will be like, "How did that happen?" It's like they spoke.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then you can there'll be somewhere where the communication's logged.
Yep.
Because everything gets logged, and you can go in and you can see what's happened if you understand the platforms.
Yeah, and you can set your rules as well. You can
Yeah,
say like,
yeah,
this is how I would. It's just like training.
Yeah, and then you're like, hey, like just like you would do it with a staff member and be like, hey, don't do that again. Do it like this. Exact same thing.
Yep.
You just fix the prompt.
Yeah.
Right. And prompting is a huge, huge part of it.
It's crazy how different the result can be based on a prompt. And what's really interesting is when you look at software products out there that are like, a wrapper around AI, like under the hood, they're really using GPT and other models, which basically all software does. That's what BuildPass does as well. You have to feed it what you call system prompts, and which basically seeds the AI with the idea of what the business is doing, what the software should be doing. And when you look at some of these system prompts get leaked on the internet and you look at them, they're crazy. They're like,
So detailed.
they're so detailed, but they can be a bit dark as well. Like I saw one that was, it was a coding assistant, and the system prompt was something like, you are the best coder in the world, but your mother is very sick. She needs $1 billion for her operation, and if you don't, if you don't provide the best possible answer in the world, she's not going to be able to get the
We're not
operation.
going to make the money. She's not going to get the operation.
And it improved the results. It's like, it's a bit crazy but that just goes to show that's an extreme example of how setting your prompts with the AI is becoming a skill set.
Yeah.
That's a skill set in itself.
So look at that. That's a great example. Look at that. And then imagine you did the same thing to a kid and you said, hey, your mother's really sick. And if you don't go and do this thing, like how driven is that kid going to be?
Yeah.
It's not even your adult.
Yeah.
Like we say it. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
no, like,
I'm
so
going to...
you know the old saying, give me a child and I can show them like that. You can rule a child easier. It's easier to manipulate a child because they'll listen to you and because you're a leader, you're an adult, right? As opposed to an adult, I'd be like, what? Fuck you, man. Like, you know what I mean? And so forth. So imagine you do that to a child. Like this is the exact same thing, but this is it's exactly what it's called. It's an artificial form of intelligence.
Yeah.
It's a made up thing that thinks, that is smart, that can learn.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, if you use those you can even leverage the same way we'd leverage it on a human, the same way we drive people in a marketing world with pain points, you can do the exact same thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool. It's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, and then part of that rabbit hole is bring up the idea of like consciousness and do these things become alive? And I don't want to go there in this podcast, but that is
That's a conversation that
we need a few hours for that.
Yeah.
But, it's an interesting concept.
So you don't have to mention what it is exactly, but are you looking at stepping into other industries with other things? Like you're saying, you're looking at bots and doing all this sort of stuff, or are you just focusing on BuildPass and making that as best as humanly possible, or artificially as possible?
Just construction. Yeah, we believe that the industry will move in a more verticalized way, in that there'll be more tools like BuildPass that just service construction, or even like a smaller niche, like just nail salons or podcast, or whatever it might be. Because what you can do now is you can build more things, more specifically in a faster way using AI. So we're just going to stay in construction. The only thing that we foresee as having an impact outside of construction, if we've built this new app, we haven't actually released it yet. We've got a wait list for it and people using it, but it's called Supersite. And essentially it's like the Snapchat for a construction site. You can go out and you can take a photo, a video, a voice note of anything that's happening, and it saves it into your notes, and the AI does work in the background for you, and it will transcribe them into tasks, and you can generate reports from that. So you can imagine you're out on a construction site, rather than starting a safety inspection or doing I'm going to go do a defect walk right now and having to find that part on your app. You just go get the equivalent of a Snapchat out, find something, talk to it, put it away, you get back to your computer and say, build me the defect report for the plumber, and it will do it all for you. So we've just built an app like that, and we've actually had interest from people who do property inspections or subcontractors, or basically anything that requires you to be out in the field, take a quick note, and then generate a report after. We've got people starting to get interested in that. So that might be something that we do outside of just construction, but you got to be careful about focus, and really we're focused on construction.
Yeah, that's right. It's the girl in the red dress.
Yeah.
Just get distracted by all those things that come up along the way as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool conversation. Man, I can talk about AI all day. That's the truth. Okay, so where do you see, I guess, for people listening, especially people in the construction space, what should they do? I would say you're probably more well versed than most people in the construction space around that particular topic. It's what you do. What should they do?
Yeah.
Like, what would you had someone you care about that's a builder, and he says, I barely use ChatGPT. I think I've used it once, for example.
So
what should that person do?
So the framing, so first of all, you want to use what we would call the generic tools, like the ChatGPT, Claude, Google Gemini. There's heaps of them, and a lot of them have free tiers. So let's just use ChatGPT. It's the best known one. So let's just say that that's where you start. The way of framing it is every time you go to do something, unless it's literally using a drill out on a construction site, physical stuff, every time you go to do something, think of it first, try and ask if the AI will do it for you. And that builds the muscle memory to go and get that done. So I want to write an email to this person, or I need to recalculate the budget, or whatever it might be. Just ask the AI to do it first, and it might give you a shitty response. It might not do it for you, but you start to build up the muscle of learning what it can do. I think that would be step number one, is just what we would call reflexive usage of AI. Your reflex is to use AI first rather than doing it the old way. And trying to change that thinking or that way of operating is probably a really important point, because you don't learn things any better or in any better way than by just doing and trialing things. So I think that would be
play with
one.
it.
Yeah. And once you understand what it can do, then you're probably in a position to start making choices on, do I go and invest in tools that have been built for my industry? And that's when you would go start looking at a tool like a BuildPass and say, okay, I actually understand what AI can do. Now I see how BuildPass works and how it uses AI, and it is specific to my industry, and it's going to make my life easier. So I think it's like a two-step process. I would definitely recommend getting more acquainted with the generic tools.
Just
like
start playing around with it. Get used to it. Use the platform. It's free.
Yeah, just for basic things like get it to write you an email, or get it to. Okay, here's one that I freaking love. Use the voice mode. So
very cool on your phone.
We were talking about earlier. I've got a 12-month-old at home. I often leave work early to go pick him up from daycare, and so often I'll be doing dinner. I'm not a very good cook, and I don't know, you've got kids, George, but trying to cook dinner with a young child who just wants your attention is very freaking hard, especially when you don't know what you're doing. So what I do now, I get my phone out, put ChatGPT on, turn on voice mode, put an AirPod in, and I literally talk to my phone. I say, I've got this in the fridge, I've got chicken, I've got tomatoes, I've got some zucchini, what should I make? It goes, it suggests a recipe. I say, that sounds good, talk me through it, what should I do? And so all the time, I'm just starting to make dinner. I'm playing with my kid. I'm talking to him. I'm talking to the AI. And all of a sudden, I've got dinner without having looked at my phone. So I think that's one example of where it can do things that are so high leverage and very non-intrusive. Just because you're using AI doesn't mean you have to be buried in your phone. Things like using voice is such an unlock.
I've done that in the car.
Yeah.
Just sitting there and actually just talking to you might have a half-hour drive ahead of you.
Yeah.
Just talk to it.
Yeah.
Just ask it a whole bunch of questions. Just say, hey, I want to talk about this. And it's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. That's a great idea. You could look at these 3 things. And I said, okay, cool. But what if I want to do it this way? And it's like having a conversation with a person.
Yeah. Yeah. A person who knows everything.
Yeah, who knows everything
and
of
can,
everything.
and can talk to you in your own style. And
Yeah. That's what I found interesting too,
Yeah.
because then it starts to talk to you the way that you want it. Like it'll give you the answer in a way that
Yeah.
In
you
your
understand.
language.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that you resonate with, which I thought was really cool. I actually was on it the other day and it was more curious than anything else. I started to ask it personal questions. Just I wanted to see how it was going to play out. I said, hey, I've got a problem with this and what it would do. And then I saw the language changing. And it was like, man, like it would genuinely say, man, that's tough. Like, I can't believe you're going through that, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And it started to change the way it was talking and
Called
communicating
me
with me.
bro the other day.
That's what I mean.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, like I was even surprised when it said, "Oh man," like it called me man. Like
Yeah.
I get that. Like I get, and then it said, like there was this one thing. It goes, "Look, I'm going to ask you this question now. Forget it. I'm not asking you as a therapist. I'm not asking you as a bot. I'm not asking you as a friend. What do you actually want?" And I was like, oh, that question alone, where it was like it was conscious. It's like I
Yeah.
was talking to another professional on the other line, and I was like, wow. I go, that is very. Like you said, I go, man, that question blows me away. That's really interesting that you have asked that.
Yeah.
And it was just cool to see that.
It is. It's really cool. The other thing that I've done is there's something called Notebook LM. I don't know if you guys have used that.
No.
It can actually produce podcasts. So you can
I've
give it.
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've
you-
heard Mark Cuban talking about it.
It's really cool. So I would suggest anytime you want to learn about something, get something like OpenAI Deep Research to just give you a report on that topic. Like let's say something you just don't know about and you want to learn. You want to learn about politics in Sudan. And you go and say, give me a deep research report on this, make it really long, really comprehensive. And you can go plug that into Notebook LM and you say, generate a fun, easygoing, with a few laughs podcast between 2 people. They should have this accent and on this
There's
topic.
2 people having a conversation.
2 people
and
having a
he's listened to
conversation. And it's actually really good. You can probably still just tell that it's
Yeah,
AI.
there is a little bit of that still.
There's a little bit of that,
Yeah.
but that's going, right? That is going to be gone.
That's what I'm
Do
finding.
you reckon it's going, or do you reckon we because like we're just getting more used to it?
No, I think
think
it's
it's
getting
going.
better.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
getting better. I think the way it prompts and responds is getting
Yeah,
better.
I think it
The way
will
it
get
talks.
better. It'll always get better. But like, do you think? I guess my question is, if someone had never, I feel like because we're starting to adapt to it more as well.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? And we're getting better at prompting and things like that. And yes, the software is getting better. But do you think it'll get to the point where you will never, ever, ever, like you could introduce someone to like let's just say you went to a tribe who had no contact with tech, and then showed them it, and they would not know that it's not a human.
I think so. I think that we're actually probably more attuned to the differences now and actually probably harsher critics because
Yeah.
we know
Yeah.
AI
Yeah,
exists.
true.
So I think if you didn't know that this could even exist, you wouldn't even notice.
If you like that clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. And if you want to watch the full episode, click just over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.